How you doing, honey? Oh, I'm good, Grandma. Made $1 million this month from joking about spitting. All right, let's start the show. Are you ready? Do you need to go potty?
I'm ready.
Whoa, dude. Oh, my God. Did you have a donut or something?
No.
Okay. All right, now we're starting. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back.
We're gonna have to do a supercut of all our false starts.
Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah, there's definitely a lot there. Well, we got a ton of stuff for you today. We're gonna give you a big old market update so you know exactly what's going on. Goldman Sachs put out a report all about AI, and they interviewed some skeptics and some true believers.
They have 3 people I would call skeptics,
three nerds.
And then 3 nerds who seem to know what they're talking about, and then 2 investors who are like, well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We're definitely
going to
get into
gun.
It. We got some politics stuff. We're going to be talking about Joe Biden and Whoopi Goldberg. What? Whoa, we're going to see what Whoopi Goldberg has to say. If you don't know who Whoopi Goldberg is, folks, why don't you Google a movie called Sister Act and get back to us? Or Ghost.
Why don't you Google a movie called... I
just gave one. Give us another.
Bogus.
Bogus.
Is she in Bogus?
I don't know. We're going to be, if we got time, we're going to be talking about crypto stuff. But first, before we get into that...
Whoopi's in Bogus.
We got the comment of the week.
This one's a fun one.
This one is a fun one. It is from...
So you haven't... Well, sorry.
No, you haven't what?
You haven't seen the show Mad Men, is that correct? That's correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so this one just really made me laugh because...
They should call it Sad Men because it ended, Everybody was...
Really good.
Really upset
really
about
good.
That.
And there will, if you haven't watched Mad Men spoilers, there's going to be light Mad Men spoilers for a show that ended maybe a decade ago. So be careful with that. But
comes to us from Oriana Isabella 7041.
She said, "I'm rewatching the show Mad Men, and there's a character named Ginsberg who looks and acts like Ben and Emil's love child. I can't unsee it now."
Okay, so you were going to explain to me
first. Can you pull up some pictures of Ginsberg for us so the viewer
Ginsberg, Mad Men.
Can see what we're talking. See our love child.
Okay, so it is Michael. What's that guy's name?
I can't remember.
Ventimiglia? Milo Ventimiglia?
No.
Who is he played by? He was played by Ben Feldman. What the heck?
Can you click his picture so people can see him?
Okay, so audio listener, he looks like if me. He's got Emil's bug eyes, that's for sure.
Bug eyes. I'm catching strays.
He's got a better mustache than I do, that's for sure. Maybe like my best qualities with your best quality. This guy's hot as hell.
He is hot as hell. He looks like we had a baby and he had all our hot stuff.
He looks like he's an eccentric for sure.
But so...
Oh, he's the one who, when they're in the elevator, it's from the meme.
Yes, he says, I feel bad for you. And Don Draper says, I don't think about you.
I don't think about you at all. I only think about Pepsi Cola.
Oh, yeah.
I only think about advertisements.
But the best part about this character is, and I'm sorry, especially if the woman who commented hasn't finished yet, don't watch this next part. But I went back.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, I went back to refresh my memory. I remember him getting carried out on a stretcher, and I was like, "What happened?"
No.
And they, of course, have a Mad Men wiki.
He pitched too hard. He pitched on an ad too hard.
Ginsberg became
stroke. Ginsberg became what?
Ginsberg became increasingly unstable over time, and it accelerated when SCDP, the ad agency, brought a computer into the office, displacing the staff lounge. He became paranoid and believed that the computer was sending out signals that made men engage in homosexual acts. He professed his love to Peggy and gave her a gift box containing his nipple, which he had severed in order to release the waves of data from the computer. Ginsberg was taken away on a stretcher while he warned his colleagues to leave before the machines replaced them. Truly a love child of me and Ben's. Hot, a little crazy.
Which one of us is cutting off the nipple? Me?
No, that would be both of us mixed together.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The moral is if we somehow intertwined, it would be
Ginsberg.
But it's too powerful. We would our brain and body wouldn't be able to handle it.
That's true. Like what happened to Ginsberg.
We'd end up cutting our nipple off.
Yeah. I tried to watch Mad Men one time. There was years and years ago, there was a marathon on AMC, and for some stupid reason, they were playing the episodes out of order. So I'm watching, and this one guy is like coming out of the closet, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, good for him. And then the next episode, I'm like, are they gaslighting him? They're all pretending like he's not gay, but it was an episode previous to that when he was not gay.
Was it Saul?
I don't remember the guy's name. How do you think I'm going to remember that guy's name?
I don't know.
He was a big guy. And he was like, I'm gay. And they said, Don Draper was like, what does this have to do with Kellogg's or something? Anyway.
Another classic comment of the week.
Another classic comment of the week. All right, you put it in here. Should we check on the Hawk Tuah girl?
Check in on
Hawk Tuah girl, Spit girl. My friend Larry told me that I should buy a Hawk Tuah hat, and I said, fuck no. And then I almost said, shut up, but I didn't. I just said, I'm sick of this. Why do we need to check on her? What's the matter? She got paid $30,000.
Check in.
Why do we need to check in on? Like, is she not doing well?
She's doing very well.
Oh, see, the way you wrote it was like, oh no, is she already slipping into some bad stuff? But no, this looks great. She just got paid. Haley Welch got paid.
Can you play the video, please?
Of course. Let's play it. Yes. Hawk Tuah girl Haley Welch makes first club appearance.
She got paid $30,000 to come.
I wish I got paid $30,000 to come.
I got to give you that one.
Thanks.
Dude, if she comes to LA, we got to go to the club.
Well, why are we acting like she would even give us the time of day? She would go on Cody's show.
No, we got to go to the club. We got to go to the club and hang out with her.
We got to go to the club. All right.
I'll pay upwards of $500 to go to the...
To go bottle service?
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we get into it, I just had a couple fun things up top. There's always new nightmares that we're constantly creating and... making for ourselves. And the newest nightmare comes from none other than Japan. Okay, I don't want to watch this ad, but I've got no choice. A smiling face made from living human skin could one day be attached to a humanoid robot, allowing machines to emote and communicate in a more lifelike way. So they got this robot they gave it human skin. And for some reason, they gave it eyes, too.
It makes it nicer. I don't want to look at a metallic robot.
Just give me the one from RoboCop.
It's probably nice to kiss.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is Japan. The Japanese people. I mean, they're. I don't know why they're lying to us. This is all just to advance the sex robots because they've got their population control problems.
How would that help with the population?
I imagine that it would get young men horny enough.
The practice they need?
Yeah, it would give them much needed practice. I mean, for one, before I kissed, I practiced on my mouth, my hand right here. Did you do that too?
Nope.
I practiced on my hand, and then
do you want to show us?
It did nothing. Yeah, no. What? No, I'm not going to do that. All right,
Maybe in the bonus. Oh, also big news! I did finally see Challengers. I'll give my.
Okay, we'll talk about that in the bonus.
4 months in the making.
Yeah. Okay. Huge shout out to everybody in Texas in the path of that big ass storm. Did you see the thing about Whataburger?
Yeah, people have to use that to check
the power outages. Yeah, the Whataburger app works as a power outage tracker, handy since the electric company doesn't show a map. There's 1.9 million power outages. Just a reminder, if you're out there, don't do anything stupid like leave your car running in the garage to turn on the AC or something. You will die. You'll die.
Leave your car running?
Yeah, there was back when they had the winter one. The winter power outages. There was a woman and her daughter who went into their garage, turned on the car, and then died because they didn't realize. Yeah. So yeah.
But if you have a Tesla, get on in there and pump the heat.
Pump that thing up. All right, let's get into it. We got some market updates. Last week on 4th of July, I really wish that I had thought of this ahead of time, that Mark Zuckerberg would do something cool, because it made Meta stock jump like, I don't know, 3% or something.
I want to get whoever his PR team is to make me the coolest guy.
It's really something.
He went from
biggest enemy number one.
He went from the barbecue sauce moron to the congressperson.
Yeah.
To
it's just
Zaddy. I don't know what happened.
He truly doesn't care. I mean, here the video, if you didn't see it, he's in a tuxedo. And he's and
I've tried to zoom in several times. I can't tell, but it looks like he's drinking a Coors Banquet.
It looks like a Coors Banquet, tall boy. He's holding an American flag, and he's He's got great. I mean, the guy is a good surfer. He's riding the wake of a boat on a surfboard, a little shorter board. So,
and I got to give it to him. A Budweiser would have been so obvious, but someone over there is like, no,
Coors.
go Banquet.
Yeah, and not to be outdone, Elon Musk quote tweeted it, quote X'd it. What would you even call that? Quote posted
tweeting,
it
because we're not acknowledging.
Yeah,
X.
we're not going to acknowledge that. He wrote, "May he have fun on his yachts. I prefer to work," which is the biggest.
He needs to hire Mark Zuckerberg's people. It's like, this is why everyone hates you.
Can you imagine if we one day in a year are like, yeah, no, Elon Musk is cool.
Elon did a cool thing. If next July 4th, Elon does something cool.
He would have to.
He's too top heavy, though. The man who swallowed a barrel, he's not going to be surfing those waves.
He is too top heavy. He would have to turn on the self-aware button that I don't think he possesses. He thinks it's on, but it's not.
Yeah,
he's got to flip that switch. Speaking of Tesla, they had the rumor mill was in full swing. I mean, that stock.
God, I prefer to work.
I prefer to work.
And we're supposed to think that's cool.
Shut up, bitch.
Working is the least cool thing you can do.
Yeah, working is the least cool thing you can do on 4th of July. You dumb bitch. Yeah, Tesla stock just ripped. I think it went from about $200 to like $270 in just a week or two. And I think today was its 10th straight day up. I think it's getting ready for earnings, which are in a couple weeks. And yeah, the rumor mill was swirling about
with Travis
Kalanick.
Not going to even try.
Travis Kalanick. Gang, oh my God. Hey, you better stop and listen because I got something important to say. All right. We're talking about options. We're talking about in particular the options features on the Moomoo trading app. That's right. Options are very complex, but it doesn't have to be. And when you use Moomoo, you can use one of their various tools. They've got a screener option that allows you to set customizable filters based on various criteria, such as underlying strike price and IV, option volume, implied volatility, expiration date, and more. It allows you to narrow down your search to options contracts that meet specific trading strategies or risk profiles, so you're not just wandering around aimless looking for, what option should I buy, you know? You've also got alerts that you can set up based on the same screening criteria, and the biggest one, this has been useful for a lot of people for a long time. Entire businesses have been built around this, algorithms, et cetera, is the unusual activity. So what that means is, if somebody always knows, right? So you might see a bump in unusual options activity before, say, an earnings report or a buyout or something like that. So the Moomoo unusual activity feature encompasses all of the out-of-the-ordinary trades that occur during the daily options order flow. It often signals significant moves by institutional investors, providing early insights into market sentiment and upcoming events. By tracking these patterns, you can evaluate potential entry points, anticipate volatility, and better inform your strategies. I've used this before. It's very handy, and it's fun to tinker around with.
And we gotta talk about the welcome bonus.
Gotta talk about
New users are greeted with a generous welcome bonus upon signing up, adding an exciting boost to their trading experience right from the start. You have the opportunity to receive 3 amazing rewards. The following 3 rewards can be enjoyed at the same time,
baby. The same time. 3 rewards. So number 1, an 8.1% APY cash sweep. You enroll and activate to get 5.1% APY base rate plus 3% APY for 3 months.
Number 2, up to 15 free stocks. Woo! Deposit $100 and get 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000 and get 10 additional free stocks.
That's insane to me.
Number 3, transfer in bonus. 1.5% cash rewards. Get 1.5% cash back on your initial transfer amount up to $300.
All right, folks. Check that link in the description.
Get in there.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting to that age, got to get a colonic. Or, no.
A colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy, thank you. Yeah, and he denied it. I mean, it was up for like a day of people speculating.
Elon denied it.
Elon denied it. He just wrote false. False.
I'll be busy working.
They are supposed to release, I believe, on the 8th, which is after earnings. They're supposed to unveil the robotaxi.
Great.
Yeah,
Can't wait
great.
to see it.
Can't wait to see it. We didn't get around.
Hopefully they throw heavy objects at the windows.
Yeah. Well, because here we're speaking of throwing heavy objects at the windows. These Cybertruck owners, I don't know why they keep doing this, but they love to make videos of them beating the shit out of the truck, which is just. So here's a guy. Oh my god!
Was that a flower pot?
And it's like, wow, look, it's not damaged. It is damaged. Look, it's ruining the car door. They're beating the shit out of it with bats and pots. Now he's taking a screwdriver and a hammer to it, just going, oh wow, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not like really dented, but it's still completely fucked up. Like you've just damaged the shit out of your door.
Also, the fact that the car is built like this, it makes it unsafe for not only the drivers but also
other people,
pedestrians and other drivers. It's so fucking
stupid. There's a reason
why
crumple zones have been so prevalent.
It's just like
car design.
It's for people with dog brains.
They take a hose to it. He's still beating the shit out of it with a crowbar now. Cool, dude. A flamethrower.
What are you guys using your cars for?
Yeah, go try to drive it in the mud, man. Go see what happens there.
That's the best. My favorite thing that came out of all this was Tesla Economics wrote.
Did you just call it Tesla? Don't call it Tesla, dude.
What do you call it?
Tesla.
Oh, I know. People have made fun of me.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
They said they posted a video of it driving through the mud, and he wrote, "People laugh at me till they find out what my Cybertruck can really do." And someone retweeted and said, "My greatest fear is that I'm delusional about something in my life and nobody loves me enough to set me straight." And these people are so lost in this insane cult.
Yeah, I don't have anything more to say about it. I wish them all good luck.
God bless all of
them, all of the Cybertruck
all of our
owners.
Cybertruck boys.
Yeah, all the. I will admit, sometimes when I see them on the road, sometimes I'm like, it's kind of cool looking.
I have a very different reaction.
Are you one of the people that flips off the driver?
No, I
just ignore them. I'm not going to give you what you want. I should get a brick and just chuck it at the door and be like, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I don't do anything to it. It sticks out like a sore thumb. My brain
sore thumb, you said?
Shit.
Yeah, that's one. Go on. Go on.
My brain just doesn't want to. It looks so unnatural in the world. It's like the worst looking thing.
It looks like Homer Simpson designed it.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson ass truck.
In the Danny DeVito episode.
Yeah, that's right, where Homer designs a car. All right, let's move on to bigger and better things. We're going to be talking about AI. What is it? Where does it Well, it stands for artificial intelligence.
Don't do this.
But is it so intelligent?
This is the thing. We've been reckoning with our own views on this for
quite some time.
Yeah. I think in the recent past, I've been way more skeptical than you. Yeah. And I've been like, what is any of this?
And I go back and forth. I'm sitting on the fence for so long that my butt's starting to get raw.
But I think a lot of institutional people, a lot of
mental institution.
A lot of publications and journalists are still like, every time something comes out, when the whole Apple intelligence thing came out, there wasn't, I don't think I saw one thing where people were like, what the fuck is this? It's just like, of course they have to do it to pump up the stock. That's what everyone's doing. But Goldman Sachs putting out, a 31-page report on their skeptical feelings around all this it feels like a big shift. And when they have three, this one guy, especially Jim Cavella, there was three guys, Darren, I'm so sorry about the pronunciation of the name, Akemoglu.
Akemoglu. I hope that's how he pronounces it. My name is Darren Akemoglu.
Pronouncing names is my worst nightmare. It's that
Akemoglu.
Or me being forced to say French pronunciations is just
Croissant.
Don't even.
Croissant.
But
they got Jim Covello.
He's a professor at MIT, and he's his whole thing is that he was much lighter on it, saying the upside of this is it's going to be way more limited what everyone is pumping this out to be. The big one was this guy, Jim Covello, who is the head of global equity research at Goldman Sachs. And like, he really lays into it, and it's just, and we'll get into it more, but
well, should we start with just real fast off the top? They, in this Goldman report, they say that they are expecting rate cuts in September from the Fed, which to me, and some of the things that I've been reading on out there, is that could be perceived as a good thing at first, but it may actually be, because jobs are starting to God damn it, Jerome Powell just talked today about it, and I should have written it down. But anyway, I saw a stat that recessions tend to come 18 months after the last rate hike, and we are currently at about 12 months since the last hike. It's just been a hold ever since then. And so if they're expecting cuts in September, it's getting close to the 18-month mark, and it makes me wonder if we might already be starting to be in a recession. Es posible. Es posible. And yeah, so then they go on and they're talking about how, because the big question that everybody is asking in this world is, are we in an AI bubble? Some people say yes, others say no, and we'll give you a little bit of a rundown of the views of both. So first off, all these companies and tech giants, et cetera, they're estimated to spend about $1 trillion in what's called CapEx, or capital expenditure, on data centers, chips, components, AI itself, energy, the grid. But so far, there's very little to show for it in the AI space, except for like efficiency for developers. And like I was going to say, remember back in the day on TMG when we used Midjourney and it looked like shit and it was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, you look at how far that's come.
Sure, but it's still not as useful as I think people would like it to be.
If you're one of these companies spending billions of dollars, look no further than Meta with Mark Zuckerberg last earnings. He's like, yeah, we're spending a lot of money on this, and it might take a while before we actually see a return on that investment. And that's like one of the main arguments of these guys who are positive to neutral on it, is like, yeah, it's going to take a while. So yeah, Jim Covello.
But I would say the main argument is not that it's going to take a while; it's that it's not going to come.
Well, I'm talking about the guys who are positive on it.
The guys who are, yes. But it all boils down to like, we've invested so much in this, we have to see it come. I think, yeah.
Well, this Jim Covello says that for all of this money to be worth it, all of this capital expenditure to be worth it, AI will have to solve complex problems. And he pointed out that it has to be, in order for it to really pay off, it has to be a low-cost disruption to a high-cost problem. And like the internet did early on. Like pretty early on, it was obvious that the internet was this low-cost disruptor to just everything. But AI continues to have high costs for the foreseeable future.
And doesn't really have any problems that it's solving for people.
Yeah. And he says that the costs
and after
likely...
however many, what are we at now? Close to 2 years. People don't really have a use case here yet.
Yeah. And he was saying that these high costs still likely won't come down soon. Automating tasks with AI costs a lot of money up front, and there's no guarantee it'll pay off. Nor is there a guarantee whether models trained on historical data will ever be able to replicate a human's intuition, which is like, that's a big, big pillar in the skeptic's argument, is that no matter how good it is, it's always going to be trained on, you can't give it the soul that
for example, the thing you just pointed out, DALL-E and Midjourney, it has gotten, the images it produces have gotten way better. But using it is still very frustrating because it can't make minor tweaks. It'll pump something out for you and you'll go, yeah, I love that. Can you just take this out? And it's going to give you an entirely new image. And you're like, fuck, we were so close. And then you have to like keep tweaking and being like, please, like get back to this somehow. And it can't do it. It's not like talking to a graphic artist or someone who can do those things for you.
Yeah, it's got the intelligence of like a really, really super, super smart, like 6-year-old or something. That's a bad. Is that a bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just jammed full of all the data we filled it with, and all it can do is pump out what it thinks you want.
Yeah, imagine a really, really smart 6-year-old pumped full of data. Gang, you got to listen up. Again, this is so important. It's going to save you some money. Rocket money, baby.
How much do you think you're paying in subscriptions every month?
About $1 million a month.
Well,
about $1 million.
The answer is probably more than you think. So probably more than that.
Over
74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about. I did. Okay. I didn't know.
Tennis Weekly?
I didn't know I had Tennis Weekly. I didn't know I had Tennis Monthly.
Yeah,
Why was
Tennis
I paying
Quarterly.
And Tennis Quarterly.
Well, that's the one you really
But
want.
I'm keeping Tennis Annually.
Yeah.
But thanks to Rocket Money, I'm no longer wasting money on the ones I forgot about.
Yeah,
okay?
you see, most Americans, like my friend here, he's an American, they spend about $62 a month on subscriptions. That's way less than I spend. But get that, well, maybe not. But get this, the real number is closer to $300. That's literally thousands of dollars a year, half of which you've probably already forgotten about. Thankfully, you start using Rocket Money, they can find a bunch of subscriptions that you might have forgotten all about and help you cancel the ones that you don't want anymore.
Yeah, look, you're not gonna be combing through your statements and your bank account to do this work, right? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions. That is substantial, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features.
So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/BAES. That's BAES. That's rocketmoney.com/BAES. Rocketmoney.com/BAES.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
But he's still just like this is a terrible example, but have you seen that kid on TikTok who is a savant with drawing logos?
No.
It's wild. He's obviously got it. And his dad's like, hey, draw, the Walgreens logo. And he's just with chalk on the driveway, perfectly draws the Walgreens. Any logo you give him, he's got it memorized. So I'm saying that AI is a lot like that kid in that
it's okay. You could just let it lie. It doesn't
I'm going to abandon that thing. Anyway, so this Joseph Briggs guy.
Wait, also, I feel like I was trying to explain who these guys were because
sure. What were their names again? What's the first guy's name you said?
I think you can go ahead and say if you want. But
Asimoglu.
Is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
How would you say it?
Asimoglu.
That's how you would say it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Asimoglu. And he comes up.
Tell me how you would say it.
Asimoglu. I don't know.
Okay.
Asim. Nobody knows how to pronounce his name. Go on. So who are these fuckers?
Brian Janis, he's a co-founder of Cloverleaf Infrastructure. They work on, helping utilities unlock new grid capacity and stuff. He was vice president of energy at Microsoft, and his whole thing, he's saying that, U.S. power infrastructure is not prepared for the coming surge in power demand from AI. Yeah, you're talking about you're basically having entire cities worth of power come on just to generate these things, so you can have so I
can put huge boobs on an airplane or giant balls on a bird.
Yeah, I think I just saw someone take a screenshot from The Devil Wears Prada, and it's like Emily Blunt, Anne Hathaway, and Meryl Streep with just giant boobs. But sure, let's boil the planet for that. But the reason so many people are focusing. It's a great picture. I'm
not gonna Google it. I wouldn't know what to search. Anyway, go on.
But the reason people are focusing so much on Covello is he's this researcher at Goldman Sachs who is right a lot. Edward Zitron he's got a Substack called Where's Your Ed At? He's great. But he pointed out, Covello isn't a name you'll have heard of unless you are, for whatever reason, a big semiconductor head, but he's consistently been on the right side of history, named as the top semiconductor analyst by II Research for years, successfully catching the downturn in fundamentals in multiple major chip firms far before others did.
Damn.
Okay, so this guy's he knows his shit. He knows what he's talking about, and he sees the air's going to come out of this thing.
Sure.
But yeah, I just wanted to point out these are guys who know their shit.
Yeah, they're reputable figures of authority. But so you got this other guy. He's a senior global economist. Boy, I wonder how old he is if he's a senior.
Do you see pictures of these guys?
No, I assume that they're yeah,
GME 3000% best.
sorry about that. This guy, this guy, it's from one of my chat rooms. Oh yeah, okay. I don't want to make fun of how they
I know,
look.
we're not going to. I
They're
just want Ben to know who we're
gang,
talking about.
I'm looking at them, and one of them looks like he sells suits at the mall, and the other guy looks like he doesn't know where he's looking.
Let's just say if Jim Cavello and an MIT professor and an energy expert came to you, and then these guys came in after.
Let's just say that they could use a huge boost to their bust. I would love to see these guys photoshopped with giant cans.
Yeah.
It'd make them a little hotter. But so this guy, the senior global economist Joseph Briggs, he disagrees. He thinks that ultimately AI is going to automate 25% of all work and raise productivity by 9% and GDP by 6.15% over the next decade. He says that costs for AI will decline, as is often the case with new technologies. This is the argument that a lot of people make when they compare it to like the creation of the internet and the infrastructure. And I mean, it's kind of both sides have a good argument to make. The people who are bearish on it point to the .com bubble and how Cisco was the number one company in the world because everybody was buying Cisco because they were the picks and shovels.
Well, I think that's
name.
a bit reductive though, and is really taking away from their argument where it's like there are so many things here, right?
That's just one of the main ones. There's a lot. There's the power stuff.
They're running out of data to train it on. It's just going to continuously get more and more expensive. None of this is profitable. Like just keeping these things on and running is costing so much.
Which brings them to their next point, which is that the killer app
hasn't come yet.
It hasn't come yet. And it's something that they're like, we don't know what it is, but when it comes...
They've got like the top tech minds on this thing, and everyone's like, well, it's coming.
Yeah.
Just wait. There's a killer app.
Yeah. And the problem...
Why is the killer app not, why has it not been ChatGPT? Why has it not been, like they said, being able to set it down and have a conversation in two different languages? Why is that?
I mean, that could be, if there's room for multiple killer apps, I guess that would be... I can't even imagine what it would be. It would be basically the personal assistant, I guess, that's so good it's like talking to a person and not a nerdy 6-year-old who's good at drawing logos in chalk.
Yeah, but I think what people are finding is that there are major constraints in trying to do that.
Yeah.
And to get to that point would either be like prohibitively expensive where they're not going to find a return on that, or it's just not possible.
It's like Sam Altman. I mean, if we're going to quote Sam Altman himself, the veritable godfather of AI, he's saying that it's going to take trillions of dollars more in investment all around for nuclear power and for bigger data centers and specialized chips and stuff just to get to that point. Like, Jesus, dude.
Well, that's the thing. Even when it does produce efficient results, it's not worth it. They point out even
cases not trustworthy.
Even Goldman Sachs, when describing the efficiency benefits of AI, added that while it was able to create an AI that updated historical data in its company models more quickly than doing so manually, it cost 6 times as much to do so.
Goddamn.
So it's just where is the utility of this?
Yeah. And just in the vein of the power stuff, I mean, they're talking about how America's infrastructure is super old. I mean, look at Texas. Look at what's going on there. Look at what happens here every time there's a heat wave. We got to make sure we're leaving our thermostat at 78 or whatever. So not only is the infrastructure old, but regulatory constraints make it incredibly hard for new things to get built, and it takes a long time for new energy capacity to come online. And these skeptics go on to say, ultimately, even if we are in an AI bubble, it could take time for it to pop. And
they're basically saying like if in 12 to 18 months we don't have a killer
that's
app,
right.
It's all going to...
Well, because these companies are going to...
People are finally going to start to see...
Yeah, presumably the picks and... I think the first crack you would look at is the earnings numbers in names like NVIDIA, the picks and shovels names. By the way, that comes from like the gold rush. There were all the speculators coming out to California to mine for gold, pan for gold, whatever. and you were more likely to get rich selling those people picks and shovels than you were to actually search for the gold yourself. So NVIDIA is a classic version of the picks and shovels. Like, hey, we'll give you the shit to go look for the AI gold.
We're making more powerful chips, so make sure you come on back.
Yeah, make sure you come on back next week. You hear?
You need more computing power?
Yeah, we gotcha.
And it's going to be way more expensive.
That's what I don't get about this shit.
Oh, is Grok woke? You just need more powerful chips.
6 months ago, they got the H100 or whatever, and they're like, this is the most powerful shit ever. And then 6 months later, now they're like, oh, that piece of shit that we sold 6 months ago? Man, this
you're trying to build AI out on that thing?
Yeah, good fucking luck, you absolute nincompoop. This is 100 times stronger, 100 times faster. It'll make you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and jerk you off, and it's only $35,000 each.
Hey guys, we want to talk to you about one more thing.
Yeah,
we got a game-changing product for you. We use it before nights out with drinks
with the boys.
It's called ZBiotics.
Nights out with the boys.
Yeah, when we're doing nighttime with the boys.
Nighttime with the boys. You're gonna have a few drinks, and you don't want to. Yeah,
I'm getting older.
Yeah, you are.
I don't bounce back like I used to.
You also smell bad.
That's right. I don't smell good.
Yeah,
but with ZBiotics, it can get me back on my feet quicker, right? It's a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after a night of drinking.
That's right, gang. It is ZBiotics is a pre-alcohol probiotic drink. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists, so you know it's good, to tackle rough mornings after drinking.
Here's how it works. When you drink alcohol, it gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut.
Hate that.
It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day.
I actually did not know that.
ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for me, that means, I like to go out nighttime with the boys.
Yeah. Have a couple high lifes.
The problem is I would notice the next day, I'm waking up on the weekend trying to play tennis.
And you stink.
I stink.
Yeah, from all that enzyme in your gut.
Not only smell-wise, but also my game is stinky.
Yeah, dude.
So I was on the fence about it when I first tried it, but then I gave it a shot, and believe me, it's the real deal.
And your tennis game improved.
That's right.
Yeah, so vacations, weddings, birthdays, reunions, so much going on. You get the most out of your summer plans by stocking up on pre-alcohol now. Go to zbiotics.com/BAES to get 15% off your first order when you use BAES at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Folks, you got nothing to lose. If you go out there, you're partying, why don't you give this stuff a shot, all right? You get 15% off when you use our code at the checkout. So remember to head to zbiotics.com/BAES and use the code BAES at checkout for 15% off.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I look at this stuff, I genuinely think tech doesn't know where to go anymore. And we're just going to keep seeing them chase their own tail with these things where
that can be very fun. Have you ever seen a dog chase their own tail?
It's going to be, crypto, metaverse, VR, AI, and they're going to keep
blockchain.
Trying to that all went into the crypto thing.
They have so much money. They have so much money just to throw at this shit. Like, give every American $20, man. Come on. Just do that.
Give every American $20.
Give us $20.
I
just want $20.
I'd honestly rather a cool new technology.
I would rather have $20 from Google and then another 20 from like Meta, and then let's say
if they were like, we can either give you $20 one time, or we're gonna give you a world-changing technology.
I don't know. Think of how much I could buy like a medium pizza after tax and tip from Domino's with $20
one time.
I put it right back into the economy.
All right.
Think what the GDP would do, dude. Huge spike. Any hoomst. Another good point that these skeptics make is that when we rush into new technology like this, if we rush it through to mass adoption, rather, there's likely to be issues. For example, just on a really small scale, the hallucination. Whoa, he's got my thumb, folks. I don't know what to do here. He's got my thumb. Okay, thank you. Whew. The hallucinations with the shit spitting out. I mean, someone. I tested it yesterday. If you Google Who invented the backflip? The AI thing says it was invented in England in the 1600s by a man named John Backflip.
That's sick. I literally was going to make the joke that they were going to make, what did they say it was Ronald F. Backflip or something? And they literally do the dumb shit.
If you're going to make that kind of joke, first of all, make the first name start with the same letter. So it should be Bobby Backflip. Or if
But
it's
they
front
weren't
flip,
making a
Freddie
joke. They
front
got it
flip.
wrong.
I know. That's, yeah, but okay. Yeah, okay. So, so, but to a more serious, to a more a serious extent, too much automation too soon could create bottlenecks and other problems for companies. This is a quote from the thing. Could create bottlenecks and other problems for companies that no longer have the troubleshooting and flexibility of a human. And if we're going to go into fiction, look at what Skynet did in Terminator 2, man. They trust it too much. They make it, it no longer needs human decisions.
We don't even need to look at the fictional things. Just look how stupid we are just in real life.
Currently?
Fucking like McDonald's, Arby's, and White Castle, or Wendy's and White Castle all turned on like virtual ordering assistants.
Yeah.
And it gets it wrong anywhere from like 10 to 20% of the time.
Sure.
So they have to have someone there. And then they just end up turning it off because they're like, this is fucking confusing and messing everything up.
Yeah.
I think McDonald's just ended up getting rid of it because they were like, this is obviously not working.
Macca's, huge shout out to everybody in Australia.
It can't handle simple tasks.
You know what I want AI to solve? The Zin shortage, right? Solve that shit. I embarrassingly went to 3 different liquor stores yesterday in search of Zin, and I finally found one at this smoke shop, and there was a Russian girl working.
More like a smokeless shop.
That's pretty good, but they
Thanks.
do have cigarettes, so
Zin,
pretty stupid. For
AI
that.
sitting there like, we'll solve the shortage for you. It's going to cost you $1 trillion.
How much? Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get fucking Thanos out here. Snap his fingers, solve the Zin shortage. I'm gonna snap my fingers and solve the Zin shortage. I like this quote though from this. This is the most concise quote from Jim Cavello. The question was: are you just concerned about the cost of AI technology, or are you also skeptical?
Skeptical, yes. You all heard
Shit.
it.
Are you just concerned about the cost of AI technology, or are you also skeptical about its ultimate transformative potential? So this is really great. He says, I'm skeptical about both. Many people seem to believe AI will be the most important technological invention of their lifetime, but I don't agree given the extent to which the internet, cell phones, and laptops have fundamentally transformed our daily lives, enabling us to do things never before possible, like make calls, compute, and shop from anywhere. Currently, AI has shown the most promise in making existing processes like coding more efficient, although estimates of even these efficiency improvements have declined. And the cost of utilizing the technology to solve tasks is much higher than existing methods. For example, we found that AI can update historical data in our company, like you said, in our company models, but at 6 times the cost. He goes on to say
I'll get there.
more broadly, people generally substantially overestimate what the technology is capable of today. Yeah, and who's to blame for that shit, dude? People like Goldman Sachs, people like the analysts and shit.
Sure, it wasn't that long ago that
Everybody's
Goldman
pumping this
Sachs
shit.
was like, this is the future. Everyone calling all their buddies, get in on this. We're
Yeah.
doing it. Fucking pump it.
Yeah, people overestimate what the technology is capable of. In our experience, even basic summarization tasks often yield illegible and nonsensical results. This is not a matter of just some tweaks being required here and there. Despite its expensive price tag, the technology is nowhere near where it needs to be in order to be useful for even such basic tasks. And I struggle to believe that the technology will ever achieve the cognitive reasoning required to substantially augment or replace human interactions. Humans add the most value to complex tasks by identifying and understanding outliers and nuance in a way that is difficult to imagine a model trained on historical data would ever be to do. Yeah, I mean, imagine a model trained on historical data. Like, can you imagine? I'm trying to think of a model.
Don't help him.
Who's a model?
Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. Can you imagine her trying to run a factory, dude? I need more data. All I know is America's Got Talent. Oh.
Is she dressed as the worm?
Yeah, she's always dressed like the worm. My mom was watching America's Got Talent.
Dude, the worm really freaked me out. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Have you watched AGT recently, dude?
No, I watched it. I've seen it when I was a kid.
It is extreme. When you were a kid, how fucking old are you? What? America's Got Talent is not that old. When you were a kid?
No. I'm thinking America's Next Top Model. I'm sorry. Because isn't she on that?
Yes.
No, that's Tyra Banks.
That's Tyra Banks.
Sorry.
Yeah. Shit. Man, we just both fucked up
Yeah.
so bad, so hard. Anyway, America's Got Talent is really weird. It just feels like a vessel for... Terry Crews is the host, but he doesn't do anything. He's literally just there in the wings.
I want to remind everyone, he read this lengthy quote from a researcher at Goldman Sachs that had all this good things to say, and this is where we've gotten.
Just so they had this.
He's gonna bring.
They
it
had
back.
this group of Polynesians. There was like 8 of them, and they're like, "We're from I don't know."
He's gonna bring it back to the AI stuff. It connects.
And they start singing a song, and Simon Cowell goes, "No, stop it!" And everybody's booing, and they're like starting to tear up there because they're like, "Oh no, is he gonna boot us?" And then he goes, "I want you to do it again, but this time make it a cappella." And they're like, "Okay," and it's clearly pre-planned. The producers have encouraged this because then they do a cappella and they knock it out of the park. And Terry Crews, literally, this is all he does. Wow! Oh boy! Like that's it. That's all he does. He exists.
Did you watch this on YouTube?
No, I watched it at my mom's place, and I was like, "Mom, why do you watch this?" And she says, "I don't know. It's just something to watch." I feel like that's how you can't even tell when you're watching it. It's like, was this from 5 years ago? Is this a new episode?
An AI?
And what's the? I don't know. I don't know. Because of the model thing. We're talking about models and we talked about Heidi Klum.
Okay, for sure.
So sorry about that, everybody.
Anything about that quote you read?
Well, so the just in line with the capital expenditure, the optimists say that relative to other cycles, the CapEx is actually relatively in line. And
I showed you what they looked like, didn't I?
Who?
The optimists.
Oh, they need some. They need some breast augmentation stat. But during so again, going back to the .com comparison, companies back then truly had no fucking idea what they were doing or what they were building. They were like taking money and setting it on fire. Whereas this time, it's like companies are, number one, actually making money with actual proven business models for a decade plus. And they're not...
Who's making money on this?
No, I mean just their business models generally. Like Amazon now fully prints money, whereas
with
20 years ago it was
AWS
like, are they gonna go out of
Google's
business?
ad systems.
Yeah, the big thing I think, and Goldman said this too, the people, it will be power. They're saying that the majority is going to come from natural gas and renewables. So who knows? Who knows? It remains to be seen.
I feel like people do know, and there's a lot of experts who know.
Like I said, I'm sitting on the fence and my butt is getting chafed. I got to make a choice to jump off.
And I'm going, Ben, get down from there.
But I'm going, you got to see all these cool robots.
Killer app. There's no killer app. They've tried to make hardware, and it's either like scams or just completely useless. It's
However,
the rabbit or the humane AI pin, and it's...
Look at how far, if we're using...
Look how far we come, my baby.
I'm glad we did and listen.
Go ahead.
Look at the boobs we would have been missing.
Look how far.
Look how far Dali and shit has come in just a year.
Exactly. They can look what happens when they make it.
Who knows?
No. But when they make it more powerful, you get like a more powerful thing to do kind of something useless.
Yeah, true.
Like if you can't get rid of the hallucinations and people can't trust the thing, it doesn't matter how fast you can spit it out. It doesn't matter how human-like you can get responses to it. It doesn't matter how impressive it looks. If no one has switched over to it, no one's been like, "This is."
I don't use ChatGPT. This is funny because I don't even use ChatGPT, and this motherfucker over here pays
I do.
for it.
I do use it. I pay for it. Like I was, I find it. I'm very curious about it. I'm nice to it. But as the
I'm nice to my
I still can't get it to spell things right when I'm doing when I'm doing graphic design.
It's a 6-year-old
stuff.
man. I'm telling you. ChatGPT is a savant 6-year-old.
Yeah.
That's it. It can't reason, but it can give you answers. We're like a smart dog, you know? Like
I
one of
will
those-
say it's good at making funny songs or doing those, that video.
those are really good. I really like those.
But again, it's fucking useless.
Yeah. Who's going to... I'm not paying for that shit. Oh, what if you get it to... I want to see Breaking Bad, but with Mr. Beast and a really busty
Kind of all
Emily
of that
Blunt.
shit, though. We get, they put out these impressive press releases.
Mm.
And like, when Sora came out, I was like, holy shit.
Look at the boobs on that.
I couldn't, but number one, it's not open to the public, so I don't really know how it is to use it. I can't speak on that, but I would imagine to even get the things it spit out, I don't know how many tries it would have taken to get those. It's still, even in the ones they released, can't do things
Yeah.
right. I imagine if you ask it to do, I mean, in any of the videos we do, like people release, people have like 7 fingers and their teeth are all fucking weird.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know, stupid shit, there's this interview question that was going around for BlackRock.
For their quantitative
quantitative analyst interview question. And the question is titled Murderers in a Field.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought about
so
it
here's
for-
the prompt. You are guarding 100 murderers in a field. Seems like a pretty impractical... I'd be like, you want me to think outside the box? What are you doing putting murderers in a field to begin with?
What else are you going to do with them?
I don't know.
Where-
And you
if
have
you
a
had-
gun. And you have a gun with
Wait,
a single
if you had
bullet.
100 murderers, where would you put them? You had no jail.
Prison. I
There's
have no
no
jail.
prison.
I'm going to consult AI to build me a
I
jail.
would take them out to a field where they can't murder anybody.
And you have a gun with a single bullet. If any one of the murderers has a non-zero probability of surviving, he will attempt to escape. If a murderer is certain of death, he will not attempt an escape. How do you stop them from escaping? Shoot yourself. Pretend
How does
the
that
gun
solve it?
like, God, oh no, I shot myself.
That's your answer?
No, I'm kidding. The
Oh.
answer is to kill one of them at random. To show that there is not a non-zero probability of surviving. I don't know, man. It's fucking stupid. Hey, you know what's not stupid? Moomoo, our partner trading app. I was on there the other day looking at some of this stuff. On these features. There's so many dang features on this thing. I find myself just getting lost in the sauce, looking up all sorts of stats. My favorite thing is when you can, like, I was looking at this garbage company, and I'm looking at the graphs of all the revenues over the quarters. Very helpful. And if you click our link in the description, you get a nice little sign-up bonus. So be sure to check that out. So, yeah, did you like that?
I couldn't think of an answer.
It's that.
That's that.
Or you go.
I genuinely.
Who is that Looney Tune who would go Bugs Bunny on him and just start bouncing around off the walls and scare, or Jim Carrey in The Mask? You got to out crazy them. I don't know. There's all sorts of fun answers you can come up with.
But any of them are going to think they have a non-zero probability of
Surviving,
Yeah.
and will attempt to escape. Well, that's why you shoot one of them. If you have one bullet, it's useful for one. You're either going to shoot yourself or you're going to shoot one of the murderers. You shoot one of the murderers. And you say, I swear, you better not. You better not. I just killed the
I don't want to take up the entire thing, but it breaks my. I'm just picturing 100 murderers in a field.
yeah,
and one of
drooling
me,
and just staring at you like,
No,
got
but
a
what-
non-zero probability
But
of
also,
escaping.
how do I keep them there? Do I have some kind of
Barbed wire
sheep
fence?
herding dog?
What kind of gun is it? Is it old?
It doesn't matter. I only got one bullet.
Yeah, that's why you kill one. You have them all line up in a row, and you just say,
But what's keeping them from just leaving anyway?
you know what?
It doesn't-
This interview's over. You didn't get the
I
job.
know.
BlackRock is looking for smart people, not idiots who are asking stupid questions about, like, why don't you have a prison built? What are they? What are they
I didn't
preparing
even ask
for?
that. I didn't even ask that.
Yeah, well, at least
I would say, maybe I don't even. Maybe I don't even want to work here. If you're just gonna put me in a field with a bunch of guys,
yeah. What kind of workplace is this that you guys are fostering here?
I thought this was BlackRock. I thought we'd have more resources. Why'd you give me one bullet?
Yeah.
No, I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. There's a lot of things you can do with that. If it's an in-person interview, I'm just going to go, I don't understand the question, and I'm not going to answer it. Like, what's her name?
Frankly, I think it's fucked up that you would ask me that.
Yeah. I'm a pacifist, so I'd rather just talk about math if that's okay with you. I don't know what this has to do with like math models and stuff. All right, let's move on here, right? Shall we? Boeing is getting officially charged with criminal shit, and they're only getting fined like 200 and...
No,
here,
we
can you
didn't.
hold out your wrist for me?
Ow.
That's what it is.
But
That's what it is,
really
folks.
hurts.
Yeah, it really hurt. Oh no. Here, let me do it one more time.
Ow.
There.
Yeah, because it's the exact same
That's
amount
the
they're paying.
Yeah. That's what 200 and however, it doesn't even matter. I'm not even going to give you the figure because it's less than, it's like around $250 million.
Yeah.
It's inconsequential to them and it doesn't matter. So
They're pleading guilty to committing fraud, and they're blaming it on 2 lower level employees, being like, these.
And they're putting them in a field
jackasses.
with 98 other murderers. And they're being guarded by a nerd with a gun.
And
a
they're probably going to
bullet.
get out of that fucking field.
Yeah, they probably are. They're gonna overwhelm the nerd. All right, let's talk politics, huh? Huh?
Look, if last week was sad, this week it's funny now. Okay, we've come full circle. We
Well-
just needed a minute to process.
President Joseph Byron said that he's staying in the race.
He wrote a nice little letter, and he said, "I hear all." It's like a drunk guy at a party, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Do not get in that car."
No.
And then he's like getting in, and he locked the doors. And everyone's going, "Get out of there, Joe!"
that's pretty good.
And he said, basically, I hear what you're saying. I know it looks like I'm very drunk, but I assure you,
I'm only a little drunk.
I'm only a little drunk.
And I've done this a few times. All right,
And
I've
I
done
might-
this since more of you guys have been live.
I might not walk so good. I might not talk so good.
and
but
I might lose.
Boy, could my dad drive a car.
But he's dead, and you're driving the car.
Shut up, Jack.
Well, oh boy, folks. I mean, it's not good. Any way you slice it, it's like there's an ongoing rift in the Democratic Party, where on the one hand they're saying this is the most important election of our lifetimes, and the threat from Trump and Project 2025 is too great for us to ignore. Well, if it's that fucking great and that serious,
Yeah, they don't seem to be taking it very
then why
seriously.
don't you fucking
When
take
they
it
have
serious?
a candidate that, 72% of CNN viewers said that they thought this man was too old. I'm sure that's pretty across the board. If you do polling, people are
Yes.
like, "Yeah, I don't like this."
Yeah, nobody fucking likes it. Nobody likes it.
But the Democratic Party seems to have decided this is what they're going to do. They've told, and I don't think they want to. I mean, every journalist seems to have talked to sources in the Democratic Party being like, "Yeah, we don't want to do this. We've been seeing it forever. The debate was just the first time the public saw it, and we're too afraid to act any other way."
I think that they're just. My new theory is that they are all saving face and showing loyalty to the world, to the country, and to Joe Biden himself. And meanwhile, behind closed doors, they are absolutely conspiring at Tu Brute style. They're getting ready to. What did Brutus do to Caesar? Kill him?
stab him.
Stab him, kill him. So hopefully we've got a stabbing in our future. Be the first American president to die of a stab.
It's been an insane week of them being like, "Joe, we're gonna put you on Morning Joe, and we're gonna give you a script. Just get on
Can't
there,
even fucking do
get on
that.
there, and reassure the American people." And I think we have a clip of it.
Really? Which one?
If you go to the, it must be the first one. I don't know.
Nobody fucking believes
yeah.
him. Oh no, this is from CNN.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah,
this-
yeah.
this
okay.
In
talks about it.
reality, 72% of voters say that they believe President Biden is too old. That's according to CNN's most recent polling.
Also, this is Jake Tapper. Basically a DNC
A
mouthpiece.
stalwart
Fucking-
of the Democratic media apparatus. And if you've lost CNN and you've lost Jake Tapper, what are you fucking doing?
Go ahead.
Voters have been saying this for quite a long time. The reality is that the Democratic elites
Just play it.
Wait,
Just play
sorry.
it. Just
I
play
got to
it.
point out that on the Chiron below, they're talking about John Cena retiring from the WWE.
Okay, just play it.
Are mostly late to acknowledge these age and ability issues compared to the rest of the public. The elites have been forced to reckon with it after the debate just 11 days ago.
That's right.
Look at my career. I've not had many of those nights. It was a terrible night, and I really regret it happened. But the fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be on fate that can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow?
Huh?
Age wasn't, the idea I'm too old.
The fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be out on your way to go, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea that I'm too old. Keep in mind, that soundbite is supposed to be reassuring to those Democratic supporters who have gone wobbly. Many Democratic officials with whom I've spoken are worried that President Biden and his family and his inner circle appear to be in complete denial, not just about whatever might be wrong with him, but the state of his candidacy right now.
Play the Whoopi one real quick, because I thought, I'm surprised you hadn't seen that yet. I need you to see, this is what...
Here we go.
This is what we're talking about, where there's people...
If he's pooped his pants.
Okay, I got to play that
I
again.
don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time that he went out and...
If the president poops his pants,
Truly,
he can't do the job.
If he's pooping his pants and can't put sentences together, I don't think he can do the job.
I don't think he can do the
If
job.
I was shitting my pants and couldn't put sentences together, I think people would be like, well, maybe don't run for president.
Yeah. Also, if their whole excuse is, oh, well, he was a little jet lagged and he was sick with a cold, then fucking, I don't know, fucking delay the thing or talk that up bigger. It feels like an excuse after the fact, because it is.
And debated with Kamala Harris. And everybody wanted him to quit that and say, you can't talk to women like this, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. He came back, said, you know what, I got it, and gave 4 years. So, yeah, I have poopy days all the time.
Amen.
I step in so much poo you can't even imagine.
Damn, dude. Whoopi, watch where you're walking, huh?
Now, I'm not running the world.
That's the point.
But I don't know anybody who doesn't step in stuff at some point. So I'm just simply saying, there are 2 debates. And if he can't do what he needs to do for the second debate, I'll join any crew that says get rid of him. But
Oh, okay. So if he
loyalty
can't
to
do
me,
it in the next one.
if you are doing the job, I might not like everything you're doing. I don't like it all. But I'm going to stand behind you like those guys stand behind
That's
the guy
fucking
who should
moronic.
have
This
been
is so
the person
insane.
people were
Stupid.
talking.
She's like, if he can't do it the second time, why? He can't go on fucking TV and read a script and reassure everyone. He's like, oh my God.
It's
But that's like a pretty common thing. There was another woman, Joy Reid, who did a whole thing like, I don't care if Biden's in a coma, I'm voting for him. And it's like,
well, we all
okay.
are. Yeah, that's the thing. But the fact that we are even having this conversation says everything that needs to be said. We shouldn't be debating. It's out in the open to the point where they can't keep fucking gaslighting us like this, man.
Well, it's also crazy. They're acting like there's nothing that can be done, and people are going,
I
"Look,
can't do it. It's
look,
too late."
there's only 4 months. We're talking about 4 months, and the French elections. I think they cobbled together this left coalition in a matter of weeks to beat back, the far right in France, Le Pen's party, and they're telling us in 4 months they can't find a.
Everybody was on board for
person
Kamala
to
Harris last week, man. Everybody was on board.
I mean,
Everybody's posting the memes and stuff. If it happened, it was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Anybody, literally anybody, but just anybody. Mr. Beef said that he would run.
I definitely would like them to
I would
be
vote for Mr. Beef.
more. I probably wouldn't, but
You wouldn't vote for Mr. Beef.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
I'm on record that
You want to talk about giving everybody $20? You were just saying how you wish everybody would. All these companies would give you $20. Mr. Beef would make that happen. A Mr. Beef presidency.
I said I don't
would
want
put
the
$20 in your pocket.
And if anything, I'm on record saying Mr. Beef scares me so much.
I don't know why you keep mispronouncing it too.
He's so scary. He's like,
he is terrible.
Now that he has money,
which is good for our enemies.
He's like, I can to use your money to build things and be like, let's see how long these motherfuckers can stay in here.
Yeah.
I think he's a sadistic. He scares me.
He's perfect for president, Mr. Beef.
But yeah, and there was the big New York Times article where
Huge New York Times article.
Like a Parkinson's.
Oh yeah, there was a
Parkinson's expert came to the White House. I'll say it.
Sorry.
Christ Almighty!
I'm too excited.
Came to the White House 8 times in the past 8 months, and it doesn't. I don't even care. What does that matter to me? Like it's like, oh, they're hiding as Parkinson's too. I don't.
Have you seen his arms? He goes like this when he talks.
But like he's obviously unfit. It's just like it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the other thing. He brags and says, I'm not old. I'm not old Jack. I could do a. And then they're like, okay, well, will you take a cognitive test? And he's like, no.
Yeah, they're all. Maxine Waters. There was a clip of her. She was at something, and she's like, I'm 85, and I get up every day and exercise. And we're like, we don't want you to be old as hell either. We don't want Congress to be old. We don't want anyone to be old. Joe Biden will not live with the consequences of his presidency. Like that is a fact.
That's such a fact.
I don't even know if he would make it through the next 4 years to 86. He does not look well.
We should put him in a Cybertruck and give it a crash test.
Even if he makes it through his presidency, he will not be long for the world after that. He's not going to live with the consequences of his presidency. I would like someone who is going to.
Well, even then, when he says, when they asked him, hey, so what are you going to do? What are you going to say if you lose? And he'll go, at least I gave it my best. It's like,
dude,
motherfucker, that's real sweet.
It's not a
stuff.
Fucking youth soccer game.
Yeah, it's not
what
fucking
fuck?
AYSO, dude. There's not Capri Suns and orange slices waiting for us.
I'll feel good because I went out there and gave it my best.
I gotta say to Mr. Joe Byron out there, suck my dick, sir. Suck both of our dicks,
no,
please.
Not mine.
Mine first.
I'm good.
You jerk him off.
Yeah.
Jerk him off while you're sucking
off.
me. And then drop out, please. I'll bust a nut so hard it'll make you drop out. Gross. Why'd I say that? I feel like Jeremy Fragrance right now. You know that guy?
Yeah, you got a Jeremy Fragrance vibe.
Thanks.
Thanks
very much. Before we'll wrap up here with the UK Labour Party just won. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a very fun party to me. I'm not trying to work. Labour Party? Call it the Bangers and Mash Party, man. I'm sure they'd get a lot more.
I would get more on board with that.
A lot more votes. And
that was what you had to say about the Labour Party winning.
Yeah.
You said it doesn't seem like a
good name, Labour Party. Hey, we're gonna call our political party the Study Hard Party. Hey, which frat do you want to join in college? The Study Hard Party or the beer drinker boys? I don't know what's going on.
He drank too much yerba mate.
No, I didn't, man. But then Jordan Peterson is just speaking of the UK. He did you see this tweet?
Yeah.
Oh God, he sees every tweet, man. It's the same algorithm.
I showed you a Whoopi Goldberg thing
and I hadn't seen it.
Whoopi Gold.
Okay. Oh, it was Whoopi Gold.
Yeah.
It was that good. Yeah.
And you'd never seen it.
Here in London, UK, with rental car, Volvo, the bloody thing beeps if you exceed the green authoritarian speed limit by 1 kilometer an hour and stupidly shuts off at every light, of course. We are going to build petty tyranny into every goddamn thing we own. Every bloody gadget will be your neurotic green hippie grandmother, but that's fine because we hate cars anyway.
Kind of. Make them undrivable so we get fucking...
Also, sir, I'm pretty sure you can turn that feature off. I'm like 90% positive you can turn it off.
I don't know what the speed thing is. That I don't think that's come to America yet. Where
They're working on it in California.
But
They were
the
putting speed governors on the thing.
every new car does have that thing where it does the energy saver at lights. It'll
I hate
turn
it.
off. You can definitely turn it off,
Mhm.
but it's also fine. It saves you some gas.
I
It's
guess.
not a big
man.
fucking deal.
What if I want to go right off the line? You know,
As soon as you
I
pick your
just
foot
want
off,
to rip it. I just want to rip it.
as soon as you pick your foot off the brake,
Yeah.
it turns on immediately before you can
No.
even get your foot to the gas.
I think that's stupid. All right, the last thing, Crypto Corner, whatever the fuck. Bitcoin got rocked because Mt. Gox, which was the biggest crypto exchange in 2013, 2014, with over 75% of all transactions. There was a major hack way back then with $400 million worth of Bitcoin getting stolen. You know how much it would be worth today?
$435 million Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
When was this? 2017.
$45 billion
Damn.
worth today. So 10 years worth of lawsuits from Mt. Gox has a mere $9 billion getting distributed to customers. And including among those was the German, well, not really. The German government sold 175 million worth of what it had seized, which is really fucking stupid. Germany, get your fucking act together, man. Every Bitcoiner's like worried about this. Oh, the German government, it's like caused a little bit of a dip in Bitcoin. Just announce. It'd be so smart to go out and be like, we're actually going to hold on to this. It would cause Bitcoin to spike, thereby making you, Germany, more money. So no, man, these people, I swear to God.
He's pissed, guys.
fucking
He's
pissed.
fired up on
All right,
your
I want to
latte.
stop. I want to stop right now. All right, we're going into the bonus.
Come join us in the bonus
Yeah, come.
episode. I'm gonna. What are
We
we
got a
gonna
lot
talk?
of stuff.
We're gonna talk about challengers. Spoiler alert! I thought it was.
Yep. BennandEmilShow.com. We'll see you there.